So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by the Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right. Welcome to the Big and Small Podcast. I'm Jason Shields and I'm big.
And I'm Marit Gabrielsen, and I'm the tiny one.
And you're a little shimmy shaking over there in your
Yeah,
chair.
if you listen to the last episode of the Big and Small Podcast, my microphone went, it went off the railings. And then I attached it, and then I didn't move my chair. So,
Gotcha.
and I always have the shimmy. I need to do kind of,
bit of-
when right before something, you just need to do something else.
Yeah.
I have so much ticks there. So I always have to do something. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes. You see this? Oh, I could have done this before we started.
So much technology.
But now I'm doing it. Oh, that's super smart. Yes.
Yeah. So, what's up?
I have an interesting observation. Let's call it our observation. And I think this could be very interesting for people to talk about. I'm really interested to hear your take on it. People know we do the Flow State Continuum weekends. And if you don't, we do them. And the Integrated Human, we do a lot of self-development. I don't like the word self-development. I think it's a word that's used so much.
Evolution.
Yeah, but that's a little bit heavy word for people. But the reason why I don't like the word self-development, because it is, but it's used in such a, I don't know, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Kind of like yoga. Real yoga it's holy, but that, I don't know, stretchy bendy thing.
Sweaty, stretchy stuff.
So I had kind of same relationship with the word self-development. But that is what we do. But we are actually doing it. That's kind of the point. And we have had a couple of the Flow State Continuum weekends now, and
people around us are getting insane results.
they are magnificent. But it's very interesting because I see one thing, and that is that people think that they only need this stuff when life is shitty. That self-development doesn't apply when life is good. And that I find fascinating.
It is. And the whole interesting thing is that there is a concept that the purpose of life is the expansion of happiness. And that is completely not true, because happiness is one end of a scale.
Expansion sounds not happy, sounds painful.
Oh, so in some way, yeah, it depends on the situation, right? So, you expand your bank accounts. Marit Gabrielsen, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is, exactly. You see, that thinking is correct, what you just did. Because everything, it's like somebody talked to a world-class violinist and said, oh man, I would give my life to be able to play like you. And the violinist said, I have. That's the whole point. The whole point is that we're looking constantly for this unfair advantage. We're looking for this disattachment of the good things in our life from the shitty things in our life, or the difficult things. So I want a paycheck, but I don't want to work. So I'd like to get paid
but no one want to admit that.
But people, it's not, my friends, it's not shameful. It's growing up, because when you are a child, you are not obligated to do anything except for just be. and you are loved and cared for and fed and taking, you're warm and all this good stuff. I mean,
People applaud you pooping.
yeah, they literally celebrate your pooping. They literally celebrate you burping. And then suddenly you get to a certain age, and when you poop and burp, you get yelled at. And you have to do. I'm just fabulous. Why shouldn't I just get money for being fabulous?
Now you need to put in the dishes.
Oh, I have to do something?
Yes.
I have obligation? I have social obligation? No. Right? And in the same way, you start to get out of that first phase, realizing that those things are actually connected, that they're one. That if I'm going to do this, then I understand that this is a part of it. That's part of it. And that's when love can happen. Real love, unconditional love, comes when you accept the bad things and the good things, and they all become a unit. And if you think about it, the mechanics of it, love is connection. Therefore, if you want more love, you must connect things and to people and to other things. It doesn't mean that you have to have them next to you. It doesn't mean that you have to approve of everything. It doesn't mean that you don't have to fix stuff. Oh, I love my car, therefore if it breaks down, I don't have to fix it because I love it anyway. No, you still need a car, and it needs to run, and you need to get to work, even though you love it. But the whole point is that connection that you have, you understand the wholeness of a situation, right? So when you are happy, that's the time you have the energy to really work. Unfortunately, the last thing you want to do when you're super happy is work.
But isn't that, well, okay, then I have a thought. Because I'm working of the, not black part of the soul. That's not what they call dark, what's it called? Shadows?
The shadow side?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dark part of the soul.
The dark side.
I'm trying to integrate the light side.
Yeah.
So I said dark side or dark and light. I don't like. Yeah. Anyways, that's another podcast we've had.
You like sitting in the shade.
Well, I appreciate the shade. I've been there so much that I see the good thing it gives.
That's it. I mean,
so now I'm trying to do the light side because someone said.
Yeah, someone said. Stop pointing at me.
If you want a total life, you need both. I'm like, fuck you. Shit. I don't know what triggers to push. So because I want everything. So
yes.
And it's very interesting because would you then say that in a self-development process, and talking from an emotional perspective, you need to then, it's about being able to handle the dark side and be able to work in the light side? Because in the dark side, it's very heavy, it's very destructive in many ways, could be. So you have to be able to work through it, sit in it. But on the light side, you can't make that stop you from continuing forward and still be able to make the good decisions even when you are excited, to continue to have the direction and not let the bliss of happiness or bliss in general stop you from continuing where you want to go. That way both sides of them will still keep you moving forward. And that's why the worldview, your highest goals and ambitions, personal philosophy comes in.
Emotional mastery has to do with acceptance of the emotional state that you have and continuing to work towards your highest goals and ambitions anyway. That's the statement. Those moments when you're super high or super low can't be the deciding factor for whether you take the necessary steps towards your highest goals and ambitions, because your highest goals and ambitions are a level above your emotional states. Your emotional states are your energetic states, what direction the energy is moving. And you have to learn how to either transform them, which, for example, anxiety can be ecstasy, not the drug, but you can learn to transform sadness into care. Right? You can really, and whether it's for yourself or others, you can learn how to do that emotional alchemy that's working with the emotions. But really mastering the emotions is realizing that you are not your emotions, and regardless of the emotion you're having, you still take the correct steps. Mother Teresa, she showed up at work helping the lepers every single day and washing the feet of the poor and feeding them, whether she was feeling happy or sad. Because her highest goals and ambitions, she, being a nun, was married to Jesus. That they wear a wedding ring, and she was serving her husband, God, every day, whether she was high or low.
Yeah, because if you let the emotional state that dictates your road path direct drive to your highest goals and ambition, you kind of, and if you're not watching YouTube, I'm sorry, but you kind of get like just like a boom, bump up, and then a bump down, bump up, bump down. You're not moving forward because you're doing, you're feeling good, so you do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then you feel like shit, so the thing you gained here just falls down.
Yeah,
again.
because the habits of success, if they're dependent on how you feel, you'll never be successful because you're going to have high and low days. And how many relationships do you have to mess up because you're feeling crappy for it to wreck maybe a business deal or maybe your business? If it's the wrong person at the wrong time, maybe you don't have a business anymore.
If you piss off the wrong person.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
You only take one person.
Yeah, one really energetic person, right?
Yeah.
You know, or one that has a lot of connections, or one that has an important role in your life. That's the problem. It's like people don't always understand that it's not the lottery ticket. Everybody's looking for the fucking lottery ticket. Shut the fuck up and do the work, which means work on your state, continue working towards your goals every single day. If you love it enough, it should be natural for you to want to focus on it every day and be the person who gets the success.
I remember we were sitting in your beautiful house with your wife, Siv, and your
Beautiful wife.
Love that lady, Siv, and Tom, your dad. And we were sitting there. Gangster Tom, with Eirik, my husband, and we were having this lovely dinner. And this is a couple of years ago, and we were talking about chiropractic, which we also love.
Oh,
it's also part of our
very concrete way to help people.
Big love in life. And you said something very beautiful because it has to do with the lottery ticket. Because I kind of want the lottery ticket.
Oh, everybody wants one.
But you said something that really kind of has stuck with me. And you said, this house is a sanctuary. And it's built with my own hands and the intention of care.
Yeah.
All of these, and yeah, you have done some handiwork on your house as well.
I have.
Not everything, but you have done that as well. But the money that it took to build it came from care.
It came from care and love of other people and supporting their life, yes.
Through chiropractic. It's built with your own hands because chiropractic is a not carpenters, but it's
a handcraft.
Handcraft.
Yeah.
So it's built from love and care and with my hands.
Yes.
And to sit in a beautiful house that you can feel is a sanctuary and feel, and you know it's built not from a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You didn't go into the grocery store and get that ticket, and that's why you have it.
Yeah.
You have it because the work you've done. And that's kind of the thing with everything you do. If it comes, I think right now, right here and now, you would go kind of, I don't care, I just want the house. I want a house. But I also know that in 10 years, because we will get the house.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of, it just has it has to do with time.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, when we're sitting there, how would it feel to be able to say, we have this house and it's built on the foundation of care and wanting the best for people and wanting them to succeed in their life?
Yeah.
Or do you want to say, I won the lottery?
Yeah, I won the lottery and all this shit's mine because baby Jesus'
Because I
favorite
hit that
kid.
lottery. And then how many dinner parties are you gonna wreck because you're gonna go, once upon a time I won a lottery
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah, yeah.
You haven't I'm kind of starting to understand the principle of becoming.
Yeah,
We talk about the secret,
yeah,
but becoming that thing that has that thing. But
yeah.
that requires that work. But it's very
Yes.
difficult to see that right here, right now.
Yeah,
Because you have to be able to have that perspective.
yeah. You have to actually have done a little bit of work with yourself and your life. A lot of people literally never take a moment and sit down and think, what do I want? Like, what do I believe? Why do I choose what I choose? What am I doing what I'm doing? Because I'll tell you that this is this is something that's very important. Now, if you take a group, and they've done psychological studies on this, okay? And people are like, oh, you're American. Why is Donald Trump so famous in America? Why do people vote for that guy? And I'm like, well, I still haven't met anybody who voted for Trump, but I'm still looking to meet one, you know? But the one of the reasons, if you look away from politics, one thing that he's really good at is making very simple statements. And you're like, well, how does this do with our conversation? What does it have to do with our conversation? Well, group group mentality, when you put lots of smart people, let's say that you take all of the Mensa candidates, like people who have IQs over 130, right? And you put them in a group. Do you know what their collective IQ is?
Is it 98?
It's 90.
Oh, I missed it.
You're close,
90.
but it's below average, right? It's below average. Now, and you're like, so, well, yeah, but you have to understand that when you're not thinking about your life and you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're acting at a 90 IQ. The things that society chooses as a group that is normal for the group to do is at what IQ level?
90.
It's at 90, below average. So when you're drinking yourself drunk, when you're spending money on shit you see on TV, when you're doing all this stupid shit, you act like everybody else is acting because they haven't thought it either. Because their mothers and fathers and teachers
Teachers
and
and preachers.
preachers are deciding how they're going to roll. Society's police is at the level of 90 IQ. The people who do something or are something exceptional, they're the ones that stick out. They also have to take the brunt of that. So, Donald Trump, let's make America great.
Yay.
Yay. Everybody can get behind that. The problem is that he puts all kinds of sinister shit behind that. And then you're all the time going, let's make America great. Let's make America great.
You get into a hypnotic state.
You can hook onto that shit no matter how smart you are, how dumb you are. Everybody can say, let's make America. Don't you want America to be great? And that's what they do. They give you something to say. You're a dumb person. You're a smart person. Doesn't matter, right? Because all of us are smart and dumb in different parts of our lives at different times. I played a chess game as I'm drinking my first cup of coffee today, and I got rolled over, got destroyed by a guy. He's like, "You should just resign, just resign." And then I played him again and destroyed him because I woke up because I got a little miffed. Yeah,
Use your emotional energy for good.
exactly.
Well, no, it was so
I
good.
channeled that. I woke myself up, and
you won.
I crushed that guy. Right. So that was the whole thing. Is that the simple statements are what sticks because when we're in a group, our mentality is at 90 IQ. So if you really want to do some work on yourself, you have to actually take a step back and look, think. That's what we do. We encourage people. I asked all kinds of questions during the flow state continuum because I'm not going to be the guy who's going to be like, oh, let's make America great. Let's evolve, I want to be the guy who incites you to go,
Do the work.
do the work.
Do the work.
Do the work. And what does that mean? Look inside. Ask yourself questions. Ask yourself why you're choosing what you're choosing. Because champions and stuff, and champions, they have two eyes and two hands and 2 feet mostly, unless they're Paralympic, right? The whole point is that the difference between, oh yeah, but they had this and that. No, They're deciding, they're choosing differently than you're choosing, and that's why they get a different result. So figure out why you're choosing what you're choosing.
And this process you can do when life is also good.
That's the point. Exactly. Because how you're feeling should not actually affect what your highest goals and ambitions are. The problem is that most people don't know what their highest goals and ambitions are because they're following the norm. Oh, I'm going to get to this phase, I'm going to get married, and then I have to have kids, and then I have to have a house, and then I have to have a mortgage for 20 years, which means I have to keep that same old job that I hate because I have to pay my mortgage to get my kids out of the house. Oh, I haven't talked to my wife for the last 25 years because we've been busy with 3 kids, and now I don't know who she is. Oh, and then a midlife crisis, and boom, 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 boom. Everybody goes through a cycle because that's what the group's doing. But again, the group is working at an IQ level of what?
90.
90. So you all, if you're listening to this podcast, are above 90. Prove it.
You ask the questions.
That's it.
You can also ask us questions.
Yes. That's it.
But I think that's so fascinating because I just, because that was something I see as a pattern, is that we had a testimonial around, and people like, no, why did you start Integrated Human? Because I had issues. I love the answer because it's just very honest. But you can also start the process with not having issues.
Yeah. You just want to have it even better.
You want to have it better, be more powerful, use that good feeling even better.
Yeah.
See what else you can create out of your life.
Yeah.
And since you have a total life, it's not always going to be good. And I think that's one of the things that hurts me a little bit. Not because it hurts me because I've done it so much now that I know things turn. And that is that because I have had people come to the flow state, for instance, and they feel so great after. Mm-hmm. And then I said, yeah, I see you in the next one. I said, yeah, but no, I feel so great. And the tendency I see is that 2 weeks before the next flow state, they regret that I haven't signed up and they're scared. Life has happened. Mm-hmm. Life happens all the time. So if you don't take that time for it, it's the reason why I said I give the dates out early and I said, book this time off, because if you don't book it, life will book it for you.
Yeah.
So, and then something has happened, work, other commitments, so they can't attend.
Yeah.
And then I'm not selling it now. This is what happens. This is what it happens many times. And that's why I bring it up. And then I go, I should have gone.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, because you felt great after, but the next event is in half a year. Life will happen within the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
If you're in total shit, it will be better. If you're in total bliss, it will get shitty again. And that does mean you should fear the bliss or fear the... It's just, it's about kind of finding that still moment, understand, okay, it's good, enjoy it.
Yeah,
enjoy it and see how you can use it.
Yeah.
And if it's shit, work through it. It will get better.
Yeah.
But take time for yourself and book those dates, because when it's good now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be good forever.
Well, that's almost a guarantee.
So it's a guarantee. So book that time for yourself. Yeah. And I see that people, what happens is that people then understand and they rebook the next one. But that's a year after they did it. Mm-hmm. Instead of, so they're missing an opportunity. And it hurts me when they miss the opportunity. You go, but at the same time, you can't do anything because it's not my process, it's yours. And maybe you had to go through that realization of missing out.
Yeah.
And understanding that, it didn't stay good.
Mm. Yeah, life happens, and there's so many moving parts. Sooner or later, you're gonna get hit sideways.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, and. I don't know if you love the Lord of the Rings as much as I do.
Well, I like it.
Yeah, and you've seen it how many times?
I don't know. I usually watch it because it's one of the reasons it's my husband's favorite movie.
Yeah, exactly.
He was playing orcs in Lord of the Rings in the woods when he was a kid.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Right, he
but
had a
yeah, I
big
watched
sword
it.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
he had a sword. He was fighting orcs.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
badass.
He's a badass. Those imaginary orcs got some. He got it served up on a platter.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking about the guy that can't
Yeah.
kill a chicken. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But those orcs, they were going down.
I'm going down.
Yeah. So, but Gandalf had many names during the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know, like Mithrandir, that was the elven name for him. But one of them was Stormcrow. You know, Gandalf the White visited the king of Rohan, and he was
Okay, you know all the names by heart,
but
so you love it more
yeah,
than I do.
Well, yeah, but the whole point is that the king was like, you know, what do you want, Gandalf, Stormcrow? Because of course, Gandalf's constantly trying to save people's ass. Like he's on, yeah, when he shows up, shit's hitting the fan because he's trying to make sure that Middle Earth survives. But that's the whole point. If you're only looking towards the pleasant and the good, and that's the only thing you want, and you feel you deserve that, when stuff goes sideways, it's very difficult to handle. But understanding that the highs and lows go together, not necessarily in a symmetrical fashion. You can have years of peace and love and all that, but just look at COVID. Who knew that was going to come out of the? But we also haven't had a world war lately, have we? You know, so like you wisely said, this is our generation's war to kind of sharpen us up a little bit. You know, and it's better that than people shooting at each other. Well, very good. Well said. You know, I thought that was a really keen observation. But you being Maudit Stormcrow at the moment, you know, and telling people that, hey, listen up, you know, it may be good and we hope it's good, but for that time that you need to be tough and be resilient and being able to recover, for that time you need to know really what your highest priorities are. You may want to do the work before it's dark.
Gets a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's a little easier when
And then
things
you,
are like
then you also have the understanding that things evolve and things change and thing goes over and thing passes and things, yeah.
Ooh,
So
I like
it's,
that. Maudit Stormcrow.
No, thank you.
What would your elvish name be?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
The short and stubby one. I don't know.
No.
But that is the thing, and doing like Soma breath and moksha meditations when you feel good, they're so good.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fight all the inner demons when you go in. You actually discover, if you think bliss is good with your eyes open, well, it's even better with your eyes closed. So it's the I just find it's a very interesting thing that because we have had people say, no, I don't need it because life is good. Yeah. Life continues. You evolve.
Yeah.
It's kind of, are you going to evolve, or is, like you said, you're just going to follow the pack until you're 80? Or are you actually going to see what you wanted?
Yeah.
That my biggest fear is to be 96 and look back and say, I didn't.
Yeah. I should have.
I should have. I have one of those. I should have. That I regret not taking because it didn't matter, but I was scared. But other than that, I'd like to look back and say, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
I like that.
And it doesn't mean that you did everything perfect, far from it. But I did that. I did life. So you're going to look back and say, I did life? Or did you going to look back and say, I regret because life did me?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that is a great place to stop. Yeah, because life did me. Those are great last words. Did you do life or did life do you? So remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day, and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.